Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. I have Uncle Authority or Matt F with me. He's the little thing and he doesn't want to be visible on screen. So he's just a at thing. Okay. So as a disclaimer, okay, I like Liberia too, I guess. I don't know, unless I'm not supposed to.
I've heard good things about Liberia.
I forgot to load it up. I am sorry. I will do it next time. I'll be a little bit more careful about the audio and video. Okay. So hello, Safari Mukherjee. So let's see. Apparently Contrapoints has made a video. Oh, thank you so much, Rob. You are the sweetest thing on earth. And please donate to me because unlike Contrapoints, I don't get $200,000 a month or whatever crazy amount she gets for making.
I'm still semi-homeless. Throw my Venmo up there.
Yep. Can you please? Here. Okay. So can you text me your Venmo and I will put it up. And
it's surplus value zero.
You can't do that. Please type it out because I'm going to make a typo and it'll be going to some random person.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I will try to do a communism. Okay. So, everyone remember, let's review what we need to do. Who should we listen to? Let's see. Do you see this interesting graphic on who we ought to listen to? Have they overthrown any czars? No. Then you take their opinion, stuff it in a garbage bag, and toss it. If they have overthrown czars, good job. Listen to them. Right? If they have
I can get behind that.
Yeah. Put all their opinion, everything they say, and just toss it. So that's... And if you're going to accuse me of having a cult of personality, whatever, go away, sure. But at least I have a cult of personality of somebody who's worth having a cult of personality about, unlike some of you who have cults of personality for Bosch and AOC.
Well, like the whole thing with this like cult of personality nonsense is like, it's like when you kick somebody's ass at a video game and then they call you a tryhard.
What's a tryhard?
Someone who is good at something, but you want to make it sound like an insult. That's what a cult of personality is.
Ah, okay. Now the second thing. Americans need to be really quiet and never, ever speak about these countries. USSR, Russia, China, DPRK. Actually, Americans just need to not speak. I'm sorry. I'm just going to revise this rule. Just don't speak. I mean, like, it's like, okay, so now let's say whenever Americans talk about anything communism related, this is where they get their, and by the way, these numbers are not scientific. I just made them up. 42.9% comes straight from Stefan Bandera. 21.4% comes from Reinhard Gehlen, who is also a fascist. 7.1% comes from Lee Ivey, who was paid by Joseph Goebbels in order to run fascist propaganda here in the U.S. I have his A Courtier to the Crowd. This is his book about how this is really funny. I'm gonna let me see if I can read a section. Oh, let me see. This is like a really bad fascist apologetics. Let's see. Where is it? Okay. He conferred. Wait. Where is it? About how he was mistaken. Oh my. Okay. Wait. Let's see. He was misled by the let's see, where is the fascist? Okay, I'm distracting myself.
I
but-
was misled by these people who told me exactly what they were going to do and then did it.
Paid me a lot of money to do it. Okay. So, if they're in America, no, Americans can't even speak on that because half of that is based on, like I said, these things. Americans should just not speak. I'm sorry. Like, I've never seen somebody so anti-literate. This is my theory, is that in America you only have like really bourgeoisie politicians and you can only get their feelings and never say words. So then you just assume that words don't matter. So somebody else, I was talking about how Lenin was responsible for the for the overthrow of the, you can't. It's like comparing third world country to imperial core. Don't compare them. You just can't. Okay. So
Right.
now, what happens is that somebody was like, I said how Lenin did all these things, and then they were like, well, Trotsky also was not in, was like in New York or something. I said Trotsky was a Menshevik and he was in New York until July, and he was detained in Canada until July or something. But the thing is that there's a huge difference between being a Bolshevik and a Menshevik. And the difference is that if you are a Bolshevik, you actually wanted to do the revolution and you've been advocating for the revolution since 1901. If you were the Menshevik, you were advocating against the revolution. So that is the fundamental difference between...
A quick plug here. My YouTube channel, Little Red Audiobook, recently uploaded a essay from Stalin called Some Questions Concerning the History of Bolshevism, where this specifically is addressed, like exactly what you're talking about right now. It's addressed as length. It's like 40 minutes, quick 40 minutes. Go there and listen to it when we're done here.
Yeah. And for the tape delayed people, we're going to put the link right now. So you have to read. The Russian word for read is chitayat. Chitai. The Hindi word for read is weird. Okay, that's so weird. The Hindi word for book is kitab. But that's an Arabic word. I wonder if they're related. Okay. We should not get distracted about etymology of languages. Spanish word is leer. What other languages can you say read in? The Spanish word is leer. Let's see.
I should know the German word, but I'm completely blanking on it right now. Probably should have read more.
Okay, radana is the Hindi word for read, and the German word for read. Let me figure this out. What is the German? Okay, we're really. I need to. Is laut lesen is to read. You read. Du liest. Okay, so read. Kitab is Arabic. Yeah, it's padte. Pad gayi. Yes. Duh. Yeah, मैं पढ़ रही हूँ. मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ. Okay, I got the oh god, I got the genders. Yeah.
So anyway, back on Lenin.
Okay, back on Lenin. Okay, now we shall go to the Contrapoints video, and I will figure. I just have some patience while I scroll.
Is something. Other example, the legitimacy of your new republic. It felt like Ronald. Other example is the blog McMansion Hell, which may envy if we convince ourselves that what we're actually experiencing is justified, legitimate hatred. So for example, think of the morality around sexuality.
Screw her.
Reclining in a garden is the same root as the English word libel. The often pornographic.
Oh God, she's probably. Oh my God, she's. Oh, I bet you she got the Marie Antoinette pornography wrong too. Oh, this is so going to be so cringy, but I'm not going to review that because that's a distraction.
I love on the introduction.
Wait, can somebody Where is one? Okay, let's see. If
Because
this is-
without something like that, and plenty of vengeance is something other than morality equivalent. But some could be that, and plenty sad t-shirt. Worried, they would just sad.
It's at 1 hour and 29
entertaining.
minutes. I need to figure out how to get to 1 hour and 29 minutes. Oh, I know what I'll do. I will see if I can share it here in a different way. Oh, then you. Oh, I see now. Okay, let's see. How do we do this? How do we? She is a drunken hedgehog. Okay, got it. Oh, I can't do it this way. Okay. We're gonna have to figure out how to scroll to 1 hour and 29 minutes. Okay, what does it look like? Okay, it's her wearing makeup with that stupid thing. Okay, give me 1 more minute. I forgot to cut the video to the right part. By the way, can somebody?
It makes it really hard to get along with other trans people. Oh, speaking of, another way we can it's a lie. So bright and a little heavy on the call. For mind if I call you Fred, more against that. Pray in this. But for several centuries, but if a person, and especially if you were raised Christian, it's not just against a Nietzsche, who became a
realization that
judges
this is
that
where
power is evil.
We got it.
I don't use foundation, I just use.
Okay, we got the part. Okay, are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Concealer. I know that's like not how you're supposed to do makeup, but I don't need to be good at makeup, okay? I have 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I don't need to be good. There's a New York Times article about young women's.
That is capitalism. I have 1 million. So she's also explaining, this is like she's basically saying that she doesn't have a responsibility to people who pay all this money to watch her, and she doesn't need to be good. That's disgusting.
YouTube. Nobody pays money to watch her on YouTube.
No. She has Patreon subscribers over 50,000, like a ridiculous amount, and they pay money. And she's basically saying, "I can."
Well, there is a saying: "You get what you pay for." So.
Well, I mean, I'd feel like I'd cheat people who pay me money if I did not.
I don't know anybody that would buy a Contrapoints, and I'm going to be proud of that.
Yeah, there are far too many people. So the problem is that, this is basically cheating your customers, in my opinion. I'm sorry.
Attitudes toward political ambition, and one of the women who was interviewed said, "As a white woman, I know I have unearned privilege. So am I really the best person to be in leadership?"
Absolutely not.
Nothing makes me tune out of a conversation faster than starting it with the words "as a white woman."
Yeah, you are absolutely the worst person to be in leadership. No way, don't be in leadership at all. We don't need you. You're probably going to be counter-revolutionary. Go, no.
We don't need seriously.
Yes, you are. Because we need leaders like you.
No, what? No, we don't.
Yeah.
Who are capable of questioning the legitimacy of their own authority.
No.
That's not questioning the legitimacy of your own authority. That's staring up your own ass and pretending you did something.
Yeah, that's false modesty. Okay.
Yeah, there's no such thing as privilege. Like, questioning privilege is, like, at best, like, atomizing your own experiences and holding them up as, like, some sort of objective reality. It's not criticizing any sort of power structure.
Correct.
I can't believe I'm taking this seriously. I feel like I'm pissing excellence into a shit-crusted toilet.
No, but the problem is that because she has 1 million of like subscribers she's misinforming, the hope is that we can kind of hack the YouTube algorithm and get suggested on 1 or 2 of her subscribers and get them unbrainwashed.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're just going to be stuck with another blonde beast of prey.
What's a blonde? What? That doesn't make sense. Okay.
And of course, it's good to be aware of your privilege.
Privilege is nonsense.
Especially as a leader. But
what? This is like I said, back to my original thing about who do you ignore? People who haven't read Lenin. Just like, actually, no. I won't even know. If it's not Lenin, just ignore them, please. me included. Just ignore it.
But let's not be so self-effacing that we efface ourselves off the face of the earth.
Please, white women, efface yourselves off the face of the earth. Like, we don't need you. No, seriously, like, please efface yourself. And we don't do
absolutely.
If there's hey, we don't do transphobia. John, kick him out. Kick John Weiss, Spinoza, kick that transphobic person, mute them. Okay. But yeah, efface yourself off the face of the planet.
This is the self-sabotage of resentment values.
What's a resentment? Okay, I don't even want to know.
Yeah, no, I don't know. This is just like stupid
Word salad.
white liberals making shit up because they don't read actual books, but they want to sound like they do.
Yeah, this is word salad.
If you think power is evil, then you've given up on the ambition to acquire any power, which virtually guarantees your political irrelevance, since, like MLK said, you have to at least have some power to implement the demands of justice. Remember what incels call taking the black pill, this conviction that the reason you don't have a girlfriend is just that you're genetically undesirable. There's nothing you can do to change it, and I guess women are just too shallow to be attracted to all the amazing hatred and spite that festers in your heart. For a lot of black-pilled incels, it seems like there's only one thing left in life that they enjoy, which is simply the pleasure of complaining, of moaning in pain. It reminds me of a comment from Dostoevsky's second most horrible protagonist.
Even in toothache.
Okay, oh god, she probably got this even translated wrong. The underground man. Okay,
There is enjoyment. In that case, of course, people are not spiteful and silent,
why does Dostoevsky have a British accent?
but moan. But they are not candid moans, they are malignant moans, and the malignancy is the whole point.
I like Dostoevsky because he actually goes into fine details. He's like Maxim Gorky, but
I'm gonna be like really honest. Like I always get Dostoevsky confused with what's the other? One of them did War and Peace, and the other one did Crime and Punishment.
Okay.
And I never remember which one's which.
Lev Tolstoy, and then there's Dostoevsky, and then there is my favorite is Nikolai, the one who wrote about the two Ivans, Nikolai Gogol. No, is that his name? Gogol?
I have no idea.
Yeah, he wrote about I love it. It's like there's an Ivan Nikolaevich and Ivan Ivanov who are neighbors, and they like have this like petty dispute. Like he's really good at like actually those writers are all really good. Okay.
The moan is a...
Yep, it is Gogol.
Okay.
I don't know. I just assume that anytime an American reads anything from Russian, it's probably
Solzhenitsyn.
Yeah, and it's probably a bad translation. Okay, that's good. Hopefully Dostoevsky will have a good influence on Jordan Peterson.
Oh God.
protest against the meaninglessness of pain. And part of the satisfaction of moaning is inflicting your pain.
Oh yes, I love Dead Souls. It's also that's a Dead Souls is that a Max? No. That is Gogol. I'm getting it confused with there's a really good Gorky play about the workers, but anyways, we'll worry about this later.
On other people, this kind of malignant moaning, it's kind of the opposite of music, because a lot of music,
What? This has nothing to do with each other. You're just making up word salads.
like blues, is benevolent moaning.
What's a malignant moaning? This is a benevolent moaning.
This is a free-form jazz odyssey of masturbatory bullshit. Can we just get to the Marx thing?
That transforms pain into pleasure. I mean, that's what blues is all about. My woman don't love me no more, but I know her sister will. You know? Optimism. I think a lot of incel discourse is really just malignant moaning, right? It's not an attempt to diagnose or solve any problem. It's just a contagious expression of misery. A moan of pain that masquerades as a political agenda. Sexual Marxism.
Oh, what?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'm out.
No, you have to say, please stay, Steve, please stay. This is funny. Sexual
Well, yeah.
Marxism. DL says this Contra clip gave me cancer. No, sexual Marxism.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like, I wasn't expecting it, but like that one quote and that transition caused in my body all the same symptoms of stage 4 colorectal cancer.
Yeah,
Just that once. Like, I'm so sad I was sitting on my bed for it.
sex, state-mandated GFs. That's very valid. Of course, they don't actually expect any of this to happen. That's not the point. So incels are kind of a universal punching bag online. It's very easy to point and laugh at them. But what's harder is to look in the mirror and notice how these exact same tendencies are rampant in our own communities. So the incel black pill is just one instance of what I call an ideology of resentment, a discourse that outwardly appears like moral or political critique, but which on examination is mainly just a resentful moan. The goal of resentment is not to improve conditions.
Inceldom doesn't appear that way.
Like her entire video is this. All videos probably. I haven't watched enough. Okay.
I've never watched one.
For any morally compromised sellouts who are attempting to enact plausible reforms.
Plausible reform. What did Lenin say about reforms and them being bourgeoisie snares? What is the exit? Okay, so there is no such thing as plausible reform. We're gonna okay, so I will send you this once more about that's where he does it, once more about the Cadet Duma. Okay, I am putting this article written by Lenin in here in the chat. So let's do a quick share.
I'm looking up a particular quote that was late in my head from yesterday about this
Lenin?
Same thing. Yeah, Lenin and reform.
Oh yeah, I will explain what this is, and remember what we all say. Like, remember the chart. Ignore them if they're not Lenin. Okay. So this is we must choose between the existing evil and the very small rectification of it, because the largest the number of those who are in general, this is Lenin being sarcastic. Let's see. So now this is why plausible reform is complete nonsense. According to the bourgeoisie theory philosophers, the driving force of progress is unity of all elements in society who realize the imperfections of certain institutes. This is bullshit, is what he means here when he says the first theory is materialist, second is idealist. He's probably too polite to say, oh no, Lenin's not too polite to say anything, but this is bullshit. So we have to pursue. Okay, so look at what he says. The most effective way to secure real reforms is pursue the tactics of revolutionary class struggle. Actually, reforms won as a result of revolutionary class struggle and as a result of independence, mass force, and steadfastness. Bourgeoisie reforms are always false, ambiguated, and permeated with the spirit of Zubatovism, which means police. So the only reforms only happen in real proportion to the intensity of the class struggle. By merging our slogans with those of the reformist bourgeoisie, we weaken the cause of revolution and consequently the cause of reform, because we thereby diminish the independence, fortitude, and the strength of the revolutionary class. So, by supporting bourgeoisie, so there is no such thing as plausible reform. There is bourgeoisie saying, oh, we're gonna, bourgeoisie saying, my guest is _authority. Bourgeoisie saying that we'll do reforms, but they're not really materialist. They don't care. Their life's fantastic. So they're not going to do reforms.
Here's a here. I pulled up the thing. I was thinking, okay, it is of greater advantage to the bourgeoisie if the necessary changes in the direction of bourgeois democracy take place more slowly, more gradually, more cautiously, less resolutely by means of reforms and not by means of revolution. If these changes develop as little as possible, the independent revolutionary activity, initiative, and energy of the common people, i.e., the peasantry and especially the workers, for otherwise it will be easier for the workers, as the French say, to hitch the rifle from one shoulder to the other, in essence, to turn against the bourgeoisie the guns which the bourgeois revolution will place in their hands. The liberty which the revolution will bring, the democratic institutions which will spring up on the ground that is cleared of serfdom. On the other hand, it is more advantageous for the working class if the necessary changes in the direction of bourgeois democracy take place by way of revolution and not by way of reform. For the way of reform is the way of delay, of procrastination, of the painfully slow decomposition of the putrid parts of the national organism. It is the proletariat and the peasantry that suffer first of all and most of all from their putrefaction. The revolutionary way is the way of quick amputation, which is the least painful to the proletariat, the way of the direct removal of the decomposing parts, the way of the fewest concessions and least consideration for the monarchy and the disgusting, vile, rotten, contaminating institutions which go with it.
Bingo. Can you link me this piece so I can share it on the chat? But yeah,
it's Lenin's Selected Works, Volume 3, page 756.
Okay, I will link this afterwards then, because I'm not gonna remember. Lenin's collected works or selected works?
Selected Works.
Okay, I only can keep track of his collected works and not selected. Don't worry about the difference.
It's in chapter 3 of History of the CPSU.
Okay, I have that in with. Okay, so after the chat, I will link this. Okay. Okay. So now.
See, this is why you got to read. Okay, people wrote words like that down, and people just don't read them. What the hell?
I know, and I love listening to like Lenin's so great in every language. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue with what's her name? Contra.
Something, yeah.
Oh, it's funny. She calls herself a Contra, like a Contra-revolutionary. That's weird. Okay.
Yes.
Not weird, but apt.
When people tell you who they are, believe them.
Yes. When you call yourself a Contra.
It's the only Abraham Lincoln quote I like.
Like, for example, like, yeah, I wouldn't call myself the White Army or the
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh, the White Army is like the KKK. Okay, let's please share and donate and give. Yeah, I don't get like whatever number 10,000. God knows how many subscribers she has. Yes, she's against the Sandinistas. Bingo.
What a weird.
I want victory.
What?
What a oh no. Does she say something about the Sandinistas too?
No, she does not. They were joking because I was talking about how she's calling
okay.
Contra.
Oh, right, yeah. You know, break out the hammer and the nails.
Yeah.
They want to endlessly critique power, because for them, critique is an important psychological defense against feeling impotent. Shaler described it this way.
It is peculiar to ressentiment criticism that it does not seriously desire that its demands be fulfilled. It does not want to cure the evil. The evil is merely a pretext.
No, it's Max. I don't know. Is it Ben Burgess? Who's Max?
Doing the reading?
I don't know. Maybe. Is it Max Sheeler? I don't know who Max Sheeler is.
Because he's not Lenin, so fuck him.
Okay.
What am I going to do with my eyes? I think a pink kind of look. We've been doing a lot of pink looks. I love that hay fever look. As a general rule, the more radical a political community claims to be, the more likely it is to be a community of resentment. Self-styled radicals will tell you, superficial surface reforms do not interest us.
Stop this for a second. Stop. Okay, because listen. listen, what she's saying right here is what she's essentially doing is saying, like, you loathe white supremacy to your core. You're not legitimate. Fuck off. That's
you
the
don't
whole
want
point.
to bomb everything that moves. Oh, this is not realistic. We have to kill everything that moves.
Yeah, this is just again a free-form jazz odyssey of masturbatory bullshit centering around the idea that anything that does not uphold the white supremacy that benefits her worthless ass, like, is utterly illegitimate because it's resentment because you don't want to form an alliance with the bourgeoisie that you don't need, that drain your fucking blood.
Yeah, and you're right. The more money she got, the more boogie she became, and that's what happens when you don't read Lenin. Is that you become.
You sound really fucking stupid.
Yeah. You mean you're always sounding stupid, but like, let's see. Let's continue.
The problem must be critiqued at its root, and then the root turns out to be this universal, all-encompassing evil, right? Society itself, the system,
yes.
The machine. A resentment ideologue always imagines himself to be engaged in a kind of satanic revolt against an omnipotent, omnipresent.
No, it's not omnipotent or omnipresent. This is
all of this moralism stuff. Like, she is projecting what she sees in the mirror onto this movement. Like, historical materialists do not do moral arguments.
Hey, Jenny, nice to see you. No, this is not omnipotent. It is very visible. Like, what you do is okay, she's an idiot who probably does not. Okay, please, like, tell her that I said, she probably doesn't care what I said, but if she does, tell her I called her a stupid idiot because capitalism, she does not know what capitalism is. It's where you have automated large-scale production of commodities. Automated means that you have some sort of, like, machine, and large scale means lots and lots and lots of it, and commodities are stuff. So when you have that happen, what happens is that the person who the queen gave a concession to build that factory eats up all the profits by ruining the artisan producers, as in making them bankrupt. Then those same artisan producers will come seeking for a job where you underpay them, and then because the more artisan producers you underpay, the more money you make, you're going to want to build a second factory and a third factory. And then because you have more and more money, you can control everything in society around you, and you're going to build more factories, and then the society gets reconfigured. So you should read Engels on the conditions of the working class in 1845, where he explains how Liverpool or Manchester? Manchester. How Manchester changed with just like 50 short years when they had this factory that they were dumping produce to India on. What happened was that, like, the housing became, before these two people would live like in the rural area far apart, but then they got rinky-dinky housing that was like half-assed. And then because they got rinky-dinky housing that was half-assed, they got a lot of sickness, and you got more epidemics. Also, those rinky-dinky housings would not have very good sewage, and that made people get cholera and die. And so, and there are 10 million more things. But these are very concrete material things for which we know the cause of, and that is configuring society so that one bloody idiot or one group of idiots who are close to the Queen of England are profiting. And how does he have a show on RT and I don't? I'm more pro-Russia than him. Not fair. Okay. Я изучаю русский язык. Я не понимаю почему. Okay, whatever. Okay. I love you, whoever you are. Okay. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah. So these are not these are literally concrete things of economics done with lots of data. Ingalls compiles 70 years worth of statistics on like how many housing plots were given, how many land, like it is done with lots and lots and lots of data. This is why Americans are allowed to be bad at math so they can be counter. Okay, by the way, I'm gonna like I know yes, I've always said this, that people who don't know math are counter-revolutionary, but that's just my but that maybe I may be like too pro-Russia to be credible, and like I probably will be like RT will probably think I'll probably get them sanctioned or something, so that's probably why. But the reason I'm pro-Russia is because reality is pro-Russia, right, Matt?
For the most part, yeah.
Okay.
Enemy. Okay, I just need to do makeup for a second. It's harder than it looks to be a makeup vlogger. Like, it's hard to talk while doing this. And nothing short of total revolution counts as any sort of victory whatsoever. We have to dismantle the entire system.
Okay, so my God, this is racist and imperial. This is such okay. The reason why you can do stupid videos is because you are getting your food produced and you are not needed for food production, and you're doing that because you have a labor-saving device known as tractors, and also like genetically modified crops or whatever else that is needed. And then you have like lots of crap loads of industrial fertilizer. Those industrial fertilizers are made in a factory in a third world country. Who joined? Who joined? Hello? I know. Thank you, Maximilian Matsutavich. Did I get that right? I'm not very good with Serbio-Croatian, Bosnian, whatever. The Serbo-Cro... whatever that language is between Serbia and Croatia that has... I keep thinking that Serbian and Croatian are very similar languages, but they have different scripts because the one was in the Austria-Hungarian Empire and the other was, I forgot where it was, Ottoman Empire, but I could be wrong. Oh, okay. Phew. It's good to have a Serbo-Croat validate me. So it's Mak Sutovic.
Burn it all down. I guess it's pedestrian to point out that this is the revolutionary utopian equivalent of Christians awaiting the last judgment.
No, because it has been done many times. Russia, USSR, China, Venezuela, Cuba, Vietnam, Laos, on and on and on and on. I mean, that Yugoslavia, Tito's the man. He's my favorite. I made a joke when somebody asked me who my favorite president was, and I said there's only one correct answer, and that is Joseph Tito. And if you're wondering how I can be pro-Stalin and pro-Tito, I don't care. I just really am happy that people in Yugoslavia got food. People in Yugoslavia got, to go to school, and they weren't slaves anymore. And Tito made that happen. So, cool. Same thing with Russia. So, that's all I care about. I don't care if it's like market socialism or whatever they think Stalinism is, which is, I guess, large-scale agriculture. That's my guess of what Stalinism is, but I don't know.
Our kingdom is coming, comrades. Often the appeal of utopian ideology is similar to religion. It's not about healthcare, higher wages.
Marxism, you idiot! Marxism is not about ideology. It's about dialectic materialism, and Engels and Marx go on a big jihad against idealism when they wrote entire books against idealism and utopianism. Like Engels wrote a book called Against Utopianism or On Utopianism. You idiot. No, she doesn't even know what dialectical. She doesn't know the base. This is like, yeah. What is the final straw? Me calling her? I don't understand this. I don't know. But this is stupid. She does not know what. She does not know what dialect. Are you there, Matt? I can't hear you. Okay. She does not know what dialectical materialism is, or nor Marxism. So the first tenet of Marxism is that the bourgeoisie have power justifying ideology, and you need dialectical materialism. Anyways, as I was saying, the bourgeoisie need people to justify their ideology, and that's the entire humanities department in every university in America. Like, it's full of garbage. Because Marxism, which is the scientific study of society in a thorough way using data, is forbidden in America. So you have to study nonsense if you're going to be a humanities major in America. I'm sorry, literally, like, it is forbidden. They're literally going to forbid you from actually studying. So yes, that is why she can do philosophy. I hope she was not, God forbid, I hope she was not a PhD. But if she has a philosophy PhD and she does not know what dialectical materialism, what kind of crappy bullshit degree is that? Well, next time just bring it to me and I will scream for all of us together. Exactly, Maximilian Maksutovich. Yeah, Trots are anti-Leninist. Well, what you see is when you look at Xi's book about Xi Jinping's philosophy, it's very data heavy. It is logical. Joe Biden, on the other hand, he can't even do a coherent sentence. I need to do let me see if I can find that. Can somebody link me the my butt was wiped? Okay, thank you. Welcome back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we were talking about how Contra does not know Contra. That's so funny. Her name is Contra. Like, why would you want?
Yeah, the last thing I heard was like she does the thing that all well-to-do petty bourgeoisie types do, where they say like, "Oh, you're a communist. You're lofty utopian ideals," because they've never read a fucking book.
Exactly. Like,
yeah.
I was talking about how Marx and Engels went on a jihad against being utopian. Like, Engels wrote a book either against utopia or on utopia. What was the name of that book?
Socialism, Utopian, and Scientific. And he comes down in favor of the latter. It's written pretty impartially, but also in a way that you will understand one is smart and the other is fucking dumb.
And Engels also wrote, and Engels was also a troll. He wrote this entire book called Anti-Duringism. Against.
I love that. No, it's just anti-During.
Oh, anti-During. Yeah, I love it. It's like, imagine if I wrote a book called Against Wash.
Yeah, just anti-Vaush, and like that's the whole fucking book. But it like really, really significant because it was at a time where people read fucking books.
Yeah. What is aerostatics? I don't know what aerostatics means. Okay. But
spell it for me.
Erusteticks.
Eurosthetics.
What does that mean? ERU. No, ERY. Sorry.
ERY, aesthetic. Yeah, I've never. That's a new one to me.
That's because they have never, ever read. Anyone who says Marx is utopian is so dumb. They have literally not opened up a Marx book. They are really.
But they haven't read Marx. They haven't read Lenin. They haven't read Engels. They haven't read Stalin. Yeah. Not one single communist they are afraid of. They have not read a single word they wrote down, and they all wrote extensively. So that's really fucking pathetic.
Yeah, remember.
They're getting. This is why I said, like, don't let bourgeois academics do your thinking for you.
Yeah, because usually when bourgeois, it's usually 50%, 49.2% from Stefan Bandera if they're going to say that Marx is utopian.
Well, not even that. It's because you're not just like reading the words as they're written. You're reading an interpretation of an interpretation of an interpretation that was all done in some guy heard it from his mentor who passed it down to his protege, who in turn said it to some fucking intern, and now that intern became an adjunct professor that doesn't understand shit. That doesn't understand shit, and now they're trying to tell it to you, and you think they're smart because they're wearing a fucking like tweed blazer when they said it to you.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
All bourgeoisie academics always boils down to somebody. If you like trace the lineage, they're always related to Stefan Bandera. I kid you not. Have you ever found one that's not like, it's like this guy from any like, and then finally it's like, Applebaum, her book literally cites S. Bandera as a OUN fighter against the Soviet Union, but forgets the year. And I'm like, copy of a copy of Stefan Bandera eventually. It'll always lead to that. So that's why you have to be careful. Okay, let's continue. Sorry, I can't. Sorry that I keep interrupting every 2 seconds. I can't let her finish a sentence because she's so wrong.
Relief from police violence. Those are actual goals that could be demanded, worked for, and achieved. Utopian ideology.
Okay, first of all,
through revolution, a bloody rivers of blood in the streets revolution.
Okay, let's watch this whole sentence again. Okay.
Who are capable of questioning the legitimacy of their own authority. Otherwise, we're just going to be stuck with another blonde beast of press. Instead, promises relief from some general malaise, kind of the opposite of music, because a lot of music reforms do not patent. Shailing of moaning in pain. It reminds me of outs who are attempting to enact plausible reforms. They don't want victory. They don't want power.
You jumping around like
critique power, because for them critique is an important psychological defense against feeling.
I didn't realize that we've only been like
Shaler described it
far,
this way.
like
it is
seconds.
Peculiar to ressentiment criticism that it does not seriously desire that its demands be fulfilled. It does not want to cure the evil. The evil is merely a pretext for the criticism.
What am I going to do with my eyes? I think a pink kind of look. We've been doing a lot of pink looks. I love that hay fever look. As a general rule, the more radical a political community claims to be, the more likely it is to be a community of resentment. Self-styled radicals will tell you, superficial surface reforms do not interest us. The problem must be critiqued at its root. And then the root turns out to be this universal, all-encompassing evil, right? Society itself, the system, the machine. A resentment ideologue always imagines himself to be engaged in a kind of satanic revolt against an omnipotent, omnipresent enemy. Okay, I just need to do makeup for a second. It's harder than it looks to be a makeup vlogger. Like, it's hard to talk while doing this. And nothing short of total revolution counts as any sort of victory whatsoever. We have to dismantle the entire system. Burn it all down. I guess it's pedestrian to point out that this is the revolutionary utopian equivalent of Christians awaiting the last judgment. Our kingdom is coming, comrades. Often the appeal of utopian ideology is similar to religion. It's not about healthcare, higher wages, relief from police violence. Those are actual goals that could be demanded, worked for, and achieved. Utopian ideology instead promises relief from some general malaise.
Okay, sorry, I didn't realize that I had only gotten like maybe 30 seconds.
Well, no, when you were jumping around like rapidly through it, you inadvertently cut together more coherent thoughts than she can produce when you just let it ride.
Oh, okay. So that I did. That's why. Okay. So that is not it. Just because you do not, you are an idiot who does not understand what words mean, does not mean that the rest of the world are idiots who don't understand what these words mean. The idiot is you. Okay, I'm gonna have to play my signature thing where it says you're wrong. I don't know. I'll play it later. But I say we've had this debate before. We know the answer, and the answer is you're wrong. She's wrong. She's just wrong. Because
Well, she's not. It's not even wrong. It's
she does not know what these words mean.
it's stupid pedestrian bullshit. It's the same fucking unlearned criticism, quote unquote criticism, that you could hear at like literally any Thanksgiving table in the entire fucking country. This is nothing. I cannot believe people pay to listen to this shit. It's literally nothing. I could walk into any random bar, pick the drunkest, dumbest looking motherfucker there, and I promise you, he could accidentally explain more about communism than this woman could ever pretend to fake her way through.
You know what's really funny? Lenin wrote a piece called Uncritical Criticism. And when you said unlearned criticism, I just remembered it. It's like uncritical criticism. That's exactly what he's talking about. Yeah, exactly. So what she is, okay, so this is where she comes from. She does not understand what the word capitalism, first of all, means. Like, that's how big of an idiot she is, that she does not okay, if there's a way I can troll
well,
her,
it's not even like an idiot. She does it. First off, like, no, like, let's stop pretending she's an idiot. She knows exactly what she's fucking doing. Because if she didn't know exactly what she was fucking doing, she wouldn't have the monthly income that she does. All right, she knows exactly what she's doing. She's sitting here spewing this bullshit in direct, deliberate, conscious defense of her class interests.
Like a Contra. So,
Like, we cannot pretend that this is stupidity or even ignorance. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's mystifying the simplest thing in the world because it directly benefits her to do so. There's nothing else to say about this. And like honestly, like, I feel bad giving like any extra attention to this.
No, because no. This is the hack we are doing, because this way we can hope to get to the YouTube algorithm and lead maybe few people from her audience away so that they can learn how she's wrong. That's a hack. Okay, let's try.
Alienation. And so ironically, it can have the same opiate effect that Marx ascribes to religion, but released.
Oh my God, she doesn't even know the context of this quote. He says that, let me show you. He literally means opium in the most literal sense, as in a painkiller you jab yourself. Let me, okay. So Marx literally says religion is the opiate of the masses. It is the something. It's like he literally. Can you get that?
It's the soul of a soulless world, the heart of a heartless world, the soul of a soulless society. It's not. He elucidates it as a
literally like opium, like painkiller.
Like as a painkiller because of how miserable society is. It's literally how you cope with it, because you have absolutely no other option, because capitalism puts you in such abject misery 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, I've never had 60 people on a stream until now, so this is why I'm trolling her. Okay. And I'm honest about why I'm trolling her. Okay. But yeah, Marx literally means painkiller that you jab yourself or smoke or however you took opium. Painkiller. Okay.
From the general anguish of human existence is not a political goal. There's been
you idiot! Oh God! No, I'm just using it as
Can you go back on that so I can hear that one more time?
Yeah. Okay.
Expect any of this to happen. That's not the point.
Arsistic.
So
I got
kind
it.
of a universal punching
Aristic.
bag online. It's very easy to point and laugh at them. But what's harder is to look in the mirror and notice how these exact same tendencies are rampant in our own communities. So the incel black pill is just one instance of what I call an ideology of resentment.
Oh God, I did
discourse that outward the and the accusation
way
is
too far back.
harder than it looks to be a makeup vlogger. Like, it's hard to talk while doing this. And nothing short of total revolution counts as any sort of victory whatsoever. We have to dismantle the entire system. Burn it all down. I guess it's pedestrian to point out that this is the revolutionary utopian equivalent of Christians awaiting the last judgment. Our kingdom is coming, comrades. Often the appeal of utopian ideology is similar to religion. It's not about healthcare, higher wages, relief from police violence. Those are actual goals that could be demanded, worked for, and achieved. Utopian ideology instead promises relief from some general malaise, alienation. And so ironically, it can have the same opiate effect that Marx ascribed to religion. But release from the general anguish of human existence is not a political goal. There's been many revolutions in the last
Stop it right there.
And so far, 0 utopias.
Hold on 1 second.
That is the whole point, is the alleviation of this constant fucking misery is the whole point of the revolutionary political process. To make things suck less. Is that utopia? No! Nobody was ever promising anybody utopia. But things could be better than they are right now, but not if we continue with the same system that is unsustainable and actively killing us.
Okay, by the way,
simple.
By the way, Maximilian Maksutovich made a point about jokingly about communism being equivalent to incels. This is reality. Communism is great for your sex life. Communists have more sex. They have better sex. You know what's really funny? I know this is a small tangent, but they did this study where they looked at the sex lives of people in East Germany versus West Germany, and people in East Germany had more sex, better sex, and more fun having sex. But then once capitalism came, East Germany became just as sexless as West Germany. So if you're an incel, the best way to get or have sex is communism.
Well, again, you can't help everybody.
No, you can't, because scientific data proves that sex is better under communism. I just showed them this article by this sociologist who did this. Like, sex is better under communism.
Yep.
Okay.
Resentment, envy, and hunger, for that matter, are not satiated by the downfall of the old regime. When the people have no bread, they eat the rich.
What is she talking about? Yes.
Perfect. No. That's exactly what a great plan. We already don't have bread. The people don't have roofs right now. We should absolutely eat the rich. We should kick them out of their nests and take their nests too.
Yeah, this is stupid shit. I mean, okay, so what she did not realize, this is like where you have no Contra, like anyone who calls themselves like after a Nicaraguan death squad that beheaded teenagers and bayoneted babies is probably counter-revolutionary.
Raped nuns, pushed coke, burned down villages,
anything evil you can imagine, the Contras did it. Okay. So, no, the reason why there was no food in Tsarist Russia is because, well, they did not have laborers, like just did not have enough land. They just did not cultivate enough land to feed the population because the Tsar was a bloody psychopath. And then once you overthrew the Tsar...
Poor agricultural techniques, and it's also Russia. Like, it's hard to grow things in Russia.
Yeah, I mean, but Lenin goes over this in 1905, like every there are so many articles. Development of agriculture under capitalism. Lenin goes through that. Like you'll explain. The one thing you have to understand is he uses a different unit of measure known as deciatines. But if you understand, it's kind of like an acre, but a little bigger. You'll understand like exactly what the problem is. So what happens is that the atkrizi, which means cut off lands, like the landlords would steal that. And even in England, I had an article called "Sheep Devours People." They would cut the peasants' food land up in order to raise sheep for wool, in order to make it.
It was called this was the enclosure movement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A sheep devours people, and so that is why there are actual specific logistical reasons for not having food. It is not magic. The reason why you
and also following the revolution, they were a international pariah state because they kicked the ass.
No, wait, yes, but go on.
But she's not talking about Tsarist Russia because to her that's the good times.
No, she's not talking about anything. She's talking about word salads, about not having food. But I'm trying to materialism.
But what this whole no food thing, what that means in the context she's using it is times were hard following the Russian Civil War.
Whatever she means, I don't care. It's about how people need to learn the skill of dialectics. So if you do not have food right now, you need to look at the distribution system. There are reasons, for dialectical reasons on this earth, that have to do with logistical supply chains. And Tsarist Russia is easy for me because of all the things Lenin wrote. That's the first thing I can spit out. So that's all I'm saying. She is an idiot. Like, this is about learning how to learn. So when you don't have food, there is a dialectical reason, and the example of the dialectical reason is Tsarist Russia. Okay. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get some.
And when the rich are gone, they eat each other.
No, that's not what happened. This is literally Bandera. If she's talking about Russia,
that's
Bandera propaganda. Okay, so let's explain what happened. So, okay, there was a world war. So what happened is that when you have a world war, your things that like trucks that supply, I don't know if trucks existed, horse carts that supplied food from, like, say, Prague to somewhere in Bohemia would be shot down by like some soldier. So at this point, what happened is that the global food system collapsed. There was a famine in Iran in 1919 caused by the British. There was famines everywhere, except, you know what the Western allies did. I have it in history. If somebody can find me the historically screenshot, I can show you. What they did was they Balkanized Finland and Poland, and because Mannerheim, while he was not busy making Soviet skin curtains, literally Google Soviet skin Finland, it exists, it is true. He agreed to basically privatize a lot of things and send a lot of Finnish people as slaves all over the world to be exploited, and that's why, like, Minnesota has a big Finnish population, because of Mannerheim agreed to make them slaves. And because of that, the Allies lifted the blockade and put in food for the remaining people in Finland. Poland, the exact same thing happened. They got famine relief because Pilsudski was a bloody fascist. Also, neither Finland nor Poland existed in 1900. They were both part of Tsarist Russia. So what happened is that on top of it, the Tsar did not have enough cattle. If you look at Lenin's analysis of what do you call it? What do you call an animal that pulls crap?
A draft animal.
Yeah, draft animal. What you realize is that in the US, even the poorest person, there was like one draft animal per person. And in Tsarist Russia, there were no draft animals. The people were the draft animals. So this is a very logistical reason. yeah. Don't watch anyone who names themselves after a Nicaraguan death squad. Can somebody clip this, because I kind of feel proud of. Where are you? I don't see you. Where'd you go? Okay. No, if they, don't defend them. They're all gross. Okay. So, the eating food part literally came from this guy who, in the 1935 Senate hearing, admitted that he was paid by Joseph Goebbels himself. So no, they did not do cannibalism, unless you're if you're talking about Nazis, yes, the Ushtazi, they did really gross stuff. I don't even, but okay, so yeah, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Okay, let's continue. Welcome back.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. And do you have any comments about the food distribution system, or?
No, I didn't hear any of it. Like, after I said draft animal, like, that's when it cut out.
Okay, I didn't play anything. I just went on a rant. So let's continue.
Okay.
And because of the proximity effect, envy may actually increase after the revolution. You may actually be more envious of a favored comrade,
What? I'm confused. Okay. Let's see.
Historical examples of this happening, 0.
Okay. Let's listen again.
And nothing short of total revolution counts as any sort of victory whatsoever. We have to
Correct.
dismantle the entire system. Burn it all down. I guess it's pedestrian to point out that this is the revolutionary utopian equivalent of Christians awaiting the last judgment. Our kingdom is coming, comrades. Often the appeal of utopian ideology is similar to religion. It's not about healthcare, higher wages, relief from police violence. Those are actual goals that could be demanded, worked for, and achieved. Utopian ideology instead promises relief from some general malaise, alienation. And so ironically, it can have the same opiate effect that Marx ascribes to religion. But release from the general anguish of human existence is not a political goal. There's been many revolutions in the last few centuries. And so far, 0 utopias. Resentment, envy, and hunger, for that matter, are not satiated by the downfall of the old regime. When the people
Hunger
have
is,
no
you
bread,
idiot.
they eat the rich. And when the rich are gone, they eat each other. And because of the proximity effect, envy may actually increase after the revolution. You may actually be more envious of a favored comrade, a successful citoyen, oui, a kulak.
Oh my God!
Of the aristocrats.
Are you
so envy
fucking
turns
moron?
paranoid.
Oh my fucking God. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't even, like, this is just, like, honestly, like, really pissing me off. I don't understand what the point of this is.
I know. Well, she's named after Nicaraguan death squad. So we know what her point is. It's to be counter-revolutionary. I mean, no, so I'm just going to call her Contra from now on, like the Contra. Okay, no, this is not, okay. So it's kind of funny because I let me see if I can share it. Like a few months ago, like I did a TikTok where this guy's like, my grandma had only a cow. Were they rich in Tsar? I'm like, yes, because because in Tsarist Russia, if you looked up the statistics, you probably had, like, they were not a fertile land. So they couldn't, cows eat up too much stuff like that humans need. So you only had maybe like a handful. My show is called Late Nights with Lenin. Come and join me. If you do not read Lenin, like, do not follow me. Like, seriously, like, I get really annoyed by people who don't read Lenin. So for example, what they would do is, this is how, Matt, can you you pretend to be a peasant and I'll be a kulak, and you ask for so in order for you to eat in your own land, you need to be able to till the whole land, and the human no, can you put it here? Give it to John Y. Spinoza.
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple, really. Like, yeah, if your grandmommy or whatever in Russia owned a cow, like, yeah, you pretty much ran the whole show.
Okay, hold on. I'm micro because Americans are stupid and brainwashed. We have to go through them step by step because they're like actually like cows. Okay, you know,
because that cow could pull a plow.
exactly. And you cannot pull out, so you can't actually cultivate your land without the cow. So then what happens is that basically the person's going to be like, give me corvée labor. So in order for me to lend you this cow for a day, you're going to have to be my slave for the next 6 weeks because you are a serf who has nothing. You don't even own the clothes on your back. So then you give them 6 weeks. But those 6 weeks, you're not growing your own land, and the labor is so needed and it's so kind of shorted that at the end, you're only cultivating your landlord's land, and then your land is not going to be there and you don't have any food. So then you go back to the landlord, Kulak, and say, hey, Kulak, I don't have any food to feed my children. And he's going to be like, yeah, here's food, but the interest will be 1/3 of the grain. And that, oh, wait, you don't have any grain. Okay, the interest will be 8 weeks of corvée labor the next year. And then within 2 years, you're giving more than 365 days worth of corvée labor. And that is what the kulak is. It's not envy, it's the kulak enslaving you, you counter-revolutionary communist.
Yep.
Okay.
And imaginative in revolutionary moments. It gets sublimated into morality, and the accusations start flying.
Is somebody like upset about her Patreon or something? Because this entire video sounds like somebody's upset about her Patreon. Is that what she's talking about? Like, is that the pretext that somebody got mad at her Patreon?
I have no idea.
Okay, so no, it's not envy. It is the desire to be free from having the Lord screw. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. This is so kind. Okay, so now, okay, so yeah, it is literally the desire. So it is not envy. This was an economic system. This is not words. These are not like, it's not like incel cool. Like, they had very specific functions. A Cossack was a death squad member who made you work after the 365 days of slavery a year. You don't have an incentive to work. You just want to die. But then if he's like, okay, if you don't do it, I'm going to rape your daughter. If you choose to die, I'm going to rape your daughter. Well, you're not a psychopath, so you'll be like, no. I will do anything to stop that. And so that is what happens. Basically, these are functions, economic functions. They are not they're not, I don't know, phrases. She seems to think everything is empty phrase-mongering, to use Lenin's word. And these are not empty phrase-mongerings. They actually mean real things that she cannot, because she has no empathy. So she does not know how frightening it is to be powerless against the barrel of a gun with this psychopath threatening to rape your daughter if you don't be his slave, and you're doing it because you don't want the psychopath to rape your daughter after you die. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is not a hypothetical, by the way. This is an actual case, and this happened in China. No, Tibet.
That citizen is conspiring against the revolution. That peasant is hoarding grain.
Okay, this is what happens when you're in the...
Oh, by the way, I don't care who you are. If you hoard grain in a situation where people are starving, you should die. It doesn't need to get more specific than that. I just want to put that out there.
Okay, so this is again the first world magic theory of commodity. If you realize this, these people did not want to feed their own people. They wanted to speculate with French people on the stock market with grain. So they would store their grains in warehouses. And Tsarist Russia, because there was a blockade, there were no cows, no tractors. They killed all the cows. That means there was less ability to build food. So she has not connected the idea of food with labor. Labor, food. If you don't plow until you're not getting food. So hoarding grain that you got because you enslaved this person for the past his family for the past 1,000 years even, but at least for the past like 50 years, because you did not do shit. The only thing you did was you were related to the Tsar somehow, and they gave you this. So now this was why, because they did not have food, because the West blockaded tractors, because they did not want these peasants to not be slaves anymore. So once again, these are actual things. So what happened was that this like rich jackass who is okay, so depending on let's just stay with the First World War. When they were hoarding grain, it meant that thousands were starving. And the reason they got the grain is from the corvée labor, aka slavery of thousands. So, and of course, anti-communist literature always confuses kulak, which is more similar to slave owner, KKK member, with peasant.
Pinkerton.
The technical English word peasant.
Pinkerton.
Yeah. No, that's Cossack is a Pinkerton, I think. Kulak is more like a slave owner, plantation owner, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, sort of. Well, honestly, I think Pinkerton because Kulak means fist.
Yeah, cool. No, but that's because they squeeze the juice out of it. Like, think of the peasant as an orange, and you have a fist, and then you just squeezed and squeezed and squeezed.
Yeah.
And also punch them. But so the fact, so what she's doing is she's not understanding. Lenin, by the way, Lenin writes about the differentiation of the rural population, aka the original word or the secondary, I forgot, it's the primary or secondary definition of the word peasant. So what happened is that you got to the middle peasants just evaporated away because they kept on getting exploited, and so you had a small group of people who were using the slave labor of the large group. The ones that hoarding the grain were the ones who could afford the Cossacks to have machine guns. So she is something.
But an interesting thing here is so in the Russian agricultural sector at the peak of this, before the Kulaki were liquidated rightly, it wasn't you didn't have this weird disparity of this ultra oppressive minority of it. The way when the middle peasants were getting phased out, and so you would have these lower peasants, and then the Kulaki. The Kulaki were 45% of that agricultural sector. It was a really large number. It's not.
It was about 4 million people. I don't know how much.
And this it was a much larger percentage of what gets lumped into this one big peasantry bubble in the West than you would think if you're used to that ultra sharp.
Hold on.
That
just think about how many members of the U.S. military there are. 1 million. So if you're let's say we had a revolution and you want to get rid of counter-revolutionaries, there's at least 40 million in the U.S. So now, yeah, cool.
Bare minimum. That's a low ball.
I'm just making up random number. But with Tsarist Russia, we know exactly because of the 1897 census. I have it downloaded, but I don't want to share it because it crashes my computer because it's it's scanned in as images. But yeah, so they were 4 million. No. Lenin said there were 4 million families. So that's about 10 million kulaks, 100 million people, give or take some 10 million. So what you don't understand is that exploiting people is also committing genocide is labor heavy, but I will talk about the labor of genocide later. But exploiting people is very labor heavy. Anyways, so it wasn't that peasant. It was these people who were, let's not forget that 14 imperialist countries were like sending in their agents and had with like infinite money and bribing, like, so.
Yeah, and well, like this is the other thing. Like, I've been thinking of this, like, with the I'm going to say quote unquote quality of the anti-communist propaganda that's being spewed here. Like, since we've we've jumped from utopian straw manning. And now we're at sympathy for the kulaks. So I'm counting down that we've got like maybe 2 or 3 more talking points before there's a straight up Black Book of Communism citation.
No, she already did. Because the eating each other part, that is literally Black Book of Communism.
Yeah, did she say it specifically?
Yeah. She said then the people will eat each other. That's literally.
I know it's like in the Black Book, but did she say Black Book of Communism?
No.
Okay, wait for it. She'll bring it up. People love because Harvard published it, so people love to treat it like it's credible.
And then they, yes, and then you'll end up crying over Ante Pavlich.
So the guillotine starts slicing thousands of heads off. The gulags fill up.
Oh Lord. Okay.
Well, they were drastically emptied after the Tsarist Revolution.
No. Hold on. First of all, she's getting her revolutions confused. The guillotines were used in the French Revolution, but that's a whole other story, whole other part of the world, whole other time period with a whole different economy.
Like almost 150 years ahead of this.
Yeah. Okay. So what she does not understand about the gulags is that actually read Gulag. My favorite thing about the gulags is just read Gulag Archipelago, and you'll realize how awesome the gulags are compared to a modern American prison.
Everybody, not even modern American prison, everyone on my block would kill to have those living conditions and those work hours. I'm not exaggerating.
Exactly, because but Alexander anti-Semitic snowflake, who in his book, he literally, his first chapter, one of his like anti-Semitic book is entitled one Russian, one Georgian, one Armenian, and 17 Jews, and he counts all the Jews. It's like 1 Jew, 2 Jew, 3 Jew,
3 Jew.
Actually, let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, what did I say that like you just keep counting all the Jews until you get a black 100?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Actually, give me one more second. Matt, can you distract some people? Found it. Okay. I found it. Okay. Give me 1 second.
Okay, good, because I don't vamp well.
You don't vamp well?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so I've highlighted this. Everything highlighted in yellow is the Russian word for Jew. So he's like going over all the positions in the Bolsheviks. It's like Lenin, president, somebody else, something Ruski. Then you'll see Jew. And then what in the next paragraph is total 20 commissioners, 1 Russian, 1 Georgian, 1 Armenian, and 17 Jews.
Yep. He's not even getting the demographics right, by the way. Like, I don't know what Solzhenitsyn's threshold for Jew was, but it was more tenuous than Hitler's.
I don't even know, but most people don't do, like, if you're not an anti-Semite, you would be like 50.
Yeah, you don't go Jew counting. Like, you're
not Russian, Georgian, and Armenian. You're not going to be calling them Jews if you're not. No, seriously. Once like somebody like gets really concerned with how many Jews are in the room, something's going to go wrong. Yeah, the Hungarian 1956 rebellion. One of their complaints was too many Jews in high places. Like Jews
Yep.
are being too successful. Actually, Hungary even had an affirmative action because what happened was that when for the brief time there was the Bela Kun revolution, and during that like brief window, all these Jews went to college and became smart, and then all the stupid people in Hungary who were not Jews were like, oh my god, and then so they had an affirmative. Actually, Harvard is also an anti-Jewish affirmative action. I believe Harvard still has the anti-Jewish. All of Harvard is basically an anti-Jewish affirmative action for white people who are too stupid, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was like, I think originally it was a divinity school. That's about right. I mean, it was established here in 1693, I think.
No, yeah, but then in the 1920s, they had this thing where there was a brief period where they like let people in on exam scores alone, and then they realized, they actually had an anti-Jew memo. They're like, oh my god, there are now way too many Jews. We don't like this idea, and then
that sounds pretty Harvard-y.
Yeah, all of Harvard is an affirmative action program to stop Jews from being too successful. So
they gave the world Matt Damon. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, Yale too.
Or an authoritarian strongman takes over just to announce another revolution 2 decades later.
What? Oh my God. This is a different country, my friend. This is China, not Russia. I know all Asiatics probably look alike to you, but this is Mao, a different country. Like, tell me you're a racist without telling. Oh no, this is just like telling me you're racist when, like, everyone in Asia looks like Chinese to you, and you can't tell the difference between
all one big horde.
Yeah, this sounds like okay. This is like you might as well just say that hordes of Mongols are invading thus Western civilization or whatever. What the hell? Okay, so China has an entire different history because it's in a different country, but that's another story. And so no. What happened is that, well, I mean, just listen to our latest episode on Taiwan. We hit World War II and the nationalists and the Chiang Kai-shek government, and what an idiot. Like how she was talking about Russia just 2 decades later. This is a different country, you moron.
Things people will do to stay relevant. Honestly. And for what?
What do you mean Mao wanted? What are you talking about? Okay, so my God, I don't know what to say.
Long-term egalitarian utopia results.
Okay, are there slaves in Tibet? No.
Those were just random words in a vaguely palatable order. Means nothing.
Because I'm not a fascist. Why are you pro-fascism? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like people owning slaves, so I'm a big fan of the Chinese Revolution. Shocking.
Yeah.
And by the way, that was a thing that like even Chiang Kai-shek got on board with. Like when they were doing the whole dual power thing, like that wishy-washy agreement between the CPC and the KMT.
Well, getting rid of the Japanese, and then the U.S. armed. Like literally, our last episode has a lot of stuff about it. But yeah,
like there was one thing like everybody agreed on. It was that there was going to be no more backwards bullshit in China after the century of humiliation, and so like the slaves in Tibet had to be liberated. And like we're talking like 20 years of like treaties being signed back and forth with like the real people and the immortal God King, and that like couldn't even be bothered to like say like yes we can like reintegrate into China because this hasty call for national liberation that happened in like 1913 didn't do anything except open us up to British exploitation, which wasn't really to anyone's taste.
Yeah. Okay. By the way, just so you know, this was a newborn, a serf having to register her newborn baby as property. And here is the Dalai Lama in his own book saying, outside of the monasteries even he does not bloody deny that. These are
the first footage the Western world ever saw of Tibet was of a woman. Okay, we'll bring it up and I'm going to explain it.
Wait, will it get me banned on? Okay, go for it.
I don't know. It was a woman of wearing a lattice made of human
I have that.
bone and a mask made of tanned human skin,
Yeah, I have that.
dancing for the amusement of the warlord rape monks. Like, this is the first footage of Tibet the Western world ever saw. It's on the BBC. You can just Google that.
I don't know.
Like,
Hold on. I did just a second to find it. I have it.
And the language that the BBC uses to talk about this clip, it's like they're describing the plot of a Disney movie. Like, nothing weird is happening at all. It's straight up Silence of the Lambs shit. Lattice of human bone, mask of human skin.
I found it. I just need a second to upload it. But or should I? What is the only good take? I don't know what the only good take is. Who did Twitch ban? Okay. Okay. So So it's like, okay. So first of all, she doesn't understand that the reason why there was a famine is because they blockaded China. She is an idiot. Like, not an idiot. I don't know. Give me a different name. She is a drunken hedgehog.
No, she is a federal agent at this point.
Okay, I need a different word. Okay, so we can't do drunken hedgehog. Okay, what is she? Is a neo-Narodnik Cossack. That doesn't make sense.
No, that doesn't make sense. The Narodniks, like, at least had some claim to being the intelligentsia.
Okay.
No, wait. It's right in her name. She's like a literal Contra.
A Nicaraguan Contra. Okay, well, let's just call her Ana Navarra, or
she has her politics, like, are utterly indistinguishable from my neocon uncle.
And Ana Navarra, because she is a Contra. I mean, who names yourself Contra? I mean, like, I would not name myself Pinochet yet as my pen name, right?
Pinochet.
That's a good pun. Like, it's a pun on the name Pinochet. Okay, let's see. It's Pinochet, like this.
Yeah, E-T-T-T. Yeah, E-T-T-E.
Okay, let's call her Pinochet.
Pinochet.
Okay, so Pinochet. But let's continue, and I will get the footage ready. Actually, I probably can get the. Okay, let's continue. And then I'll get the footage ready at the end with Tibet. It's really gross.
Socialism with Chinese characteristics.
Oh, you racist idiot! No, Gucci. Oh my God. Oh my blood.
I feel like those I'm forgetting the name of the tribe, but they do the rite of passage where they, like, wrap their arms in those large leaves that have bullet ants sewed into them, and then they just kind of, like, go unconscious, like, being stung right now. That's what this experience is doing to me. Like, just, like, every time that video hits play, it's just like venom.
Okay, I got the Tibetan video ready. Hold on. Sorry, it just kind of happened suddenly.
Legendary city of Tibet was cordially crowded. Yes, there were lots of girls.
Yep, here's the human skin drum.
We were pleasantly surprised. Lies the magnificent marble tombs of the former Dalai Lama.
This is the Potala Palace.
Revealing in their simplicity of beauty an architecture unrivaled anywhere.
Is this the footage you're talking about?
I don't know. I can't.
We were pleasantly surprised. The natives, though astonished at our appearance,
can you hear?
Greeted us cordially, crowding the streets and staring at the strangers from the outside world.
I think that's it. If you got it from the BBC.
We had arrived on a fake day.
No, I got it from the British.
Yeah, that's it.
Dressed thronged the streets, ringing bells. The festivities were about to start. The crowd gathered, sitting everywhere and anywhere, waiting for the main event, which was to be a wrestling match. Yes, there were lots of girls. The wrestling match started in due course. 4 contenders from various parts of the country were matched for the championship of Tibet.
What is the opium smoking?
The onlookers took it pretty casually, even the girls, some of whom were quite pretty.
Ew! Ew! Racism combined with rapism feels even worse. Yep.
The Tibetans' idea of a corps de ballet was the next number. There were
This is
ceremonial dances, colorful and picturesque, danced to a weird medley of instruments.
This is the human skin.
After this followed preparations for the main event of the day. The great dignitaries that came from all parts of the land, gathering together preliminary to their walk through the city en route to the abode of the Dalai Lama, the living Buddha, who upon that day was to be looked upon by a privileged few. On all sides, trumpet blowers heard forth the approaching event. Then the procession began, watched by reverential crowds.
Is this the video? But okay, hold on. Should I let it play? Okay, let's vote on chat. Should I let it play? Do you guys want to watch more about 1930s Tibet, or should we continue back to Contra? It's up to you. Oh, or Pinochet. Is this the video, Matt? I don't hear you. Okay, 1930s Tibet. Okay.
More hornblowers, dancers, men in queer masks.
This is the video.
The final ceremony took place in the great courtyard of the Dalai Lama's house, where offerings were made to the Holy One, and humble obeisance and devotion and adoration.
Look at this, look at this, look at how they're crawling. These poor people are crawling.
Now all is suppressed excitement. The time has come when men will be allowed to look upon the mysterious being who rules Tibet for the term of his natural life. The Dalai Lama, the living Buddha, who sits upon his throne, a being unknown to the millions who worship him. The living Buddha, an almighty, far-seeing, powerful ruler of a race and a religion, the Dalai Lama of Shangri-La. Once he turned and looked fiercely and felt very uneasy, so he lowered the camera. Viceroy who governs in the name of the ruler. Our quest finished, and back again in the hot and arid region in the Gobi Desert, gave one last look at the fierce and rugged range which guards the unknown world of Tibet. Then, with alarm, noticed that the wind was rising. It looked like the scourge of the desert was about to strike us, a sandstorm. And in a few moments it did, enveloping the camp. Only those who have traveled in the desert are able to realize the discomfort and hardships incurred in a sandstorm. One can scarcely breathe. It suffocates men and animals alike.
Okay. But yeah, this is those drums were definitely human skin drums. Okay, are you there, Matt? I guess not. Okay. Should we continue with the Tibet video or Contrapoints?
As the storm subsided, we started for home and more comfortable quarters. It was a difficult and dangerous trip, but it had been worth it, for we saw and actually photographed the living Buddha.
That's the end. Okay. Okay, that's the end. Okay, so now this is back. Okay, so oh my God, she's doing the you have an iPhone. Okay, no, you idiot. Socialism does not mean you cut off yourself from the world, nor does it mean you are austere, nor does it mean anything else. And people are not slaves and they have food. In fact, no, that was the end of the video. I can show you another video of Tibet later. At the end of the stream, well, I can show another one that's a little bit later during World War II. But yeah, yeah. So what the hell? What kind? Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry. I got Yetis confused with yaks in my head, and I'm like, I was about to say that Yeti milk is pink, but no, it's a yak milk that's pink. I don't know why I got Yetis and yaks confused. Yeah, if you usually look at it, these billionaires came from British occupied capitalist Hong Kong and blah, blah, blah. And they're long story.
So look, I do understand that sometimes you just have to do a revolution. And if I'd been there in 1789, I'm sure I'd be storming the Bastille myself. But I just wish we could stop being so dumb.
White people, oh, okay, that's very interesting. You have to do it if you're white, but if you're Chinese or Tibetan and you're enslaved, or not Chinese, but Han or Tibetan and enslaved, screw you. And Pinochet. The point, she was not making a point. She was saying she's just on a masturbatory rant where there are no points to be made. Okay, let's continue.
Doe-eyed about it. Revolution is a bloody nightmare that happens because society is collapsing and people are desperate. At worst, revolution is nothing more than a violent day of retribution.
Are you kidding me, you incel murderer? You are... Wait. Who is this idiot? Or incel murderer? Okay. No, revolution is not a day of retribution. It is basically making sure that your kids have food and that you don't have to be raped by a lord on your wedding day. Tibet was horrendous. Can't even explain how horrendous. I'll just read my article on Tibet, just like, and my sources are, oh, by the way, a certain actress, Uma Thurman, her dad trolled me on this. I'm like, why are you idiot reading my blog? You're dumb. Okay. Is she funded by DuPont? Whatever. She's dumb. Okay, not dumb. I don't know what she is, but what is she? Oh, okay. No, revolution was not that. It was literally making sure that you had... No. He came on my blog for some. Just look at the comments. There's like, I didn't even realize he was Uma Thurman's dad. So weird. Yeah. Anyways, a revolution is not that you are a Contra, you Pinochet.
And at best, it lays the groundwork for future incremental progress.
Are you kidding? No. Let us look at these statistics. I'm just gonna. I don't have Matt to distract me, so I can. Do you guys want to? I don't know. Does anyone know how to do a poll? Do you guys want to watch a video about Tibet in the 1940s? Yeah, actually, let's do that. Let's. While I quickly should get the statistics, I can do that. Tibet in the 1940s. Might be fun. Or do you want to? Let's see. Do I have Tibet in the 1940s? I'm sure. I know I have it somewhere if I can find it. Found it. Okay, this is actually the battle for Lhasa, so it's probably 1956 Tibet, but let's go for it.
kashi ta pena kundi dogo pebere ese che tanda chi sasa sal chi kode che do ma to shatembo imi ta ko ma so
다가 담은 되게 되게 거다 야 되게 잡아 주든 주선 저 주든 주는 차로 너도 전 민망 점들만 패지 민망 신도 마다 염이 신이 마다
니만 닝 그쇼라 딩이네 아니 멘다는 것도 있어 등등등등등등등등등등 세제
이 라마토간데 잠이 젠데 만로야 체도 지금 먼저 마음에 두주 당하죠 대나야 잠강구치가 당하죠 침바이 너블레 가네
tani noblong ka de jog merchog jaw menda jaw misingen jaw sa ka jeni de jog merchog jokundu potala de jog potala merchog jokundu noblong ka merchog jokundu ma jawani
매주 그렇게 당시 세례 못 하시네 노블링 카프라 두바가 차네네 빼 나한테 도저히 찍기야다 다들 뭐네 다 그리지 얘기하는데 미강 눈은 뭐만 강한 못 뛰어도
탕가리 요새시 마 장원데 노블링 카 스토리인 거야래 야푸르 레디아타 메주 자카 잡소 진짜 이 사람이 참은 것 따네 맨날 안돼 시 진사된 데야 되리 이 사세는 되는데 잡소
메게 로다 따게 로다 샤게 로다 치게 로다
진짜 뭐지 성공전이 시행돼 메가 당다
아그 갑자기 손도 당야라 단 전번에 세고에 밀타 사tin에 밀타 아마송아 성선다고지 제대로 했던 시야서
Okay,
da jamingu
okay, so I found it, let's see. Did you guys want me to play further? Yes, that is exactly it. How do you fucking escape to India without the roads that Mao built? There was only one road from northern India to Lhasa, Tibet, and it was 14 days by yak. So you can't escape to India without the road that Mao built. So we were
Hey,
just,
can you hear me?
Yeah, we were just wasting time. Should I play this on? Wait, actually, no. We need to not play this further because we might get copyright stricken for the Tibet video. But what we can do is go back to the.
No, the Tibet video is from 1922. It's public domain.
Oh no, we finished the 1922 video. I was just playing a 1956 video that may or may not. Okay, let's keep going on.
No, that's not public domain yet.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to play more. By the way, I found the statistics for Tsarist Russia, and the rural literacy rate was really bad. But we can see. I'm just going to take I'll just quickly show you just for 1 second, and then I'm not capable of real-time translating in my head this book that I found online in under 4 minutes while we live thing. So I just know that this means in Vasia Nasele city and not city. Do that, but these are the ages, and but I can't translate this off the top of my head. So we're gonna have to wait for that. Just know that people's lives were way better. Okay, let's continue.
But it will never usher in utopia, nor is it the antidote to a vague sense of unease, which, I'm sorry to report, is simply the resting state of an unsedated human mind.
Okay, again, she is talking about it's about herself because she's not mining for cobalt in Congo. There are
I would be vaguely uneasy if I knew in my heart of hearts that everybody wanted to literally eat me, just peel the flesh off my overpaid bones. Just saying.
Okay, so apparently Tristan Bastille says, I actually realized when Pinochet was sus. It was when she says that Jane Austen is on par with Homer. Specifically, Pride and Prejudice is as influential in... No, what is she talking about?
Pride and Prejudice was the original Lifetime movie. It's nothing.
It's really... I like Jane Austen because it's kind of funny and girly. But yes, it is a Lifetime movie. Yeah, the British government. No. Captain John. Captain.
Well, actually, it's not. I'm not going to say it's not as influential as Homer because I'm not an asshole. But Jane Austen is ridiculously influential in that when people think of that era of England, they specifically go through the eyes of a sexless spinster and that's all Jane Austen.
So Jane Austen is an incel.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Jane Austen was the original femcel. Absolutely.
I did not know that she was an incel.
Yeah, no, it's kind of like how what's her name? She's a songwriter called Diane Warren. She writes all these sickly, sappy love songs, but is very open that she does.
Now, I'm not saying, as some conservatives do, that all leftist or all egalitarian politics is born of envy. No.
No, who cares what you say, whether it's any or not? Go away. You are a bourgeoisie person whose opinion does not count. Because it's about, if you don't have materialistic outlook on life, yeah, for you it is big resentment because you're probably upset that you can't get on and listen to some lizards and you know shit. But for people who are working in the mines in Congo, it is not resentment, it is the desire not to be a slave in the mines. My audio is a mess. Now is it better? Now is it better? Can you hear me now? Is it better? Okay. Okay, let's try this. Okay,
Again, can you hear me?
Yeah, but okay, except we've lost the oh god. Okay, we'll figure this out. We have lost oh god. Okay, I'm sorry about this. We have lost what's her face. Oh my god. Can somebody figure out what the timestamp is for Contrapoints? Because it's gonna be okay. Tell me.
It often targets the wrong people. Ideology is similar. Blues is all about. My woman don't love me no more, but I know her sister will. Implemented that I don't have natural beauty. It's just that
for hundreds of years.
Higher left is nothing problems. Thanks, morality. I'm done with my makeup. What do we think? Potentially be sublimated or redirected into something more constructive. Because raw envy is a very bad basis for equality. Implemented into morality. That's impossible. I think envy is like libido, initiated by the downfall of the old regime. When the people have no bread, they eat the rich. And I think I'm done with my makeup. What we watched today is that without any genuine plan. So the guillotine it lays the groundwork for future incremental progress. But it will never usher in utopia, nor is it the antidote to a vague sense of unease, which, I'm sorry to report, is simply the resting state of an unsedated human mind. Now, I'm not saying, as some conservatives do, that all leftist or all egalitarian politics
yes, you are.
Is born
Contra.
No. This is a specific subtype. There are plenty of reasons other than envy.
I like that she said,
envy.
like some conservatives do, meaning that she understands exactly where she is on the political spectrum.
Okay, so as Matt says, the first rule of Dunning-Kruger Club is that you don't know you're in Dunning-Kruger Club.
I did not come up with that. That is not my saying. I saw it on a meme somewhere like last year, and I forgot to save it. But no, it's not my saying.
I don't know how. Okay, where I don't even see the circle cursor, but let's figure that out later. Where's the circle cursor? I won't figure that out right now.
To oppose an economic distribution where some people have billions of dollars while other people are dying because they can't afford insulin. Objectively, that is not an efficient use of resources to promote human well-being. And personally, I just don't want to live in a country where people are dying because they can't afford medicine. And I'm willing to pay however many taxes it...
Oh, Lord. Okay, she is an economic illiterate.
I don't understand, like, you know, what happens to people where they have this disconnect where, like, I don't want to live in a country where capitalism happens, but also I oppose the overthrow of capitalism.
They don't oppose the overthrow of capitalism. They she admitted that her only problem is a vague sense of unease because she is a bloody Contra. Oh God, no, do not do this to me. Please do not do this. I don't want to know. So somebody was like trying to give me other videos. I was like, no. At the очень plохо.
No, this is the last time. This is the last time I will ever think about this woman. I will ever speak about this woman.
Well, no. Remember, this is good because this is kind of like she has 1 million followers. We have maybe 2,000. So let's continue.
Takes for that not to happen. So while I'm putting down straw man versions of my argument, I'm also not saying, oh, let's just stop being envious. No.
What? Who cares about your feelings? We don't care. Feel whatever you want. I don't care. This is about the real world. This is about the weird world. Okay.
That's impossible. I think envy is like libido. It's a basic force of human nature that's more or less unstoppable. But with the right leadership, I think that envy can potentially be sublimated or redirected into something more constructive.
Leadership.
Raw envy is a very bad basis for egalitarian politics.
Who cares about the feelings? It's not about feelings. There's no raw energy.
I've never known a revolutionary in my life that had like any interest in egalitarianism. It's a direct oppression of the oppressor.
Yeah, we want to oppress you and nothing egalitarian. And she's definitely going to be going to a one-way trip to Siberia. Okay. Unfortunately, Alexander Zolson even took that away from him. Like, I had the comfort of knowing that the Gulags would be a miserable place, but no, he had to take that away from him. And I'm like, God, Jesus Christ, you guys are.
Yeah, well, did you see that post I did that, like, you know, there are, not every anarchist that annoys me lives rent-free in my head, but they definitely earn a compensatory wage in my mental gulag.
Oh yeah, but yeah, okay, my mental gulag is the imagination of the gulag. I'm so pissed that because I always, before I knew about the gulags, I was always had this nice comfort that Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell and Obama would be in a gulag picking rocks, and then I realized, oh no, it's not. The gulag and Alexander Zoltsin
well, the thing I love about the gulags that everybody seems to gloss over is that the entire system was undone, abolished, done away with in 1961.
Yeah, but when you even that was wrong, but it's another story. And it's kind of, I don't understand why liberals can't get so if somebody's a dissident, you have to ask, what are you? Oh, because they have no beliefs. Aha. That's why they don't get that people opposed to Stalin are fascists. And light went on. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Okay. People. Okay, let's continue.
It often targets the wrong people,
no, it doesn't.
Millionaires instead of billionaires. And eventually it turns the revolution against itself.
No, it doesn't.
And you get the circular firing squad.
What circular firing squad?
She sounds exactly like that jelly neck douchebag that you and I both hate. They have the exact same talking points about communist revolution. It's exactly the same. The jelly neck guy, the four-eyed pencil neck fuck from Oklahoma.
Oh, the anarch. Oh God, okay.
Yeah, if she says the word state capitalism, they have the exact same views on communist revolution.
No. At least anarch accidentally reinvents the Soviet Union. When he's we should have a collective and somebody.
Well, she doesn't think about anything other than herself, so she's incapable of doing that. Yeah. But they have the exact same stance on communism.
I know, but it's funny because Anarch twice, last week, he said something about correction facilities, and then we're you mean a gulag where there's that?
Yeah, no, they're not prisoners. They're sequestered peoples. That was the funniest fucking thing I ever heard in my life.
Yeah. And I'm you mean a gulag? And then it was funny because somebody else, I believe it was Aeolus Drift, who showed a tweet from a year ago where he accidentally invented a Soviet, where it's we need to have a collective forum among the you mean a Soviet? And so he's twice accidentally invented the Soviet Union, which is cool because it shows you how unauthoritarian it is if anarchists accidentally keep inventing it.
Well, my little go-to piece of rhetoric on all this, especially with that guy's whole shtick, is horizontal organization is a long way of saying lay down for the fascists.
Oh yeah, anarchists always lose because they're losers, but that's another story. I'm just saying at least the anarch twice accidentally stumbles upon the Soviet Union.
The problem I see on the left today is that without any genuine political outlet, resentment mostly manifests as morality. Morality itself being a way to vent envious aggression and vindictiveness. On the left, we claim to be so impersonal, right? We're all about structural analysis, the material conditions.
She doesn't know what any of these words mean.
Systems of power, intersectional identity hierarchies. But if you look at what people actually spend their time doing here, it's all this obsessive moral policing. I wonder if because leftists can't seem to win on any major political
Okay, you idiot! You're because I can't use David and Goliath. Okay, because
there are 90 million people in the Communist Party of China.
Yeah,
leftists win a lot.
We win a lot. Yeah. On top of that, are there any czars left? They're all dead.
No! Wait! Where are the monarchs now? Oh, right, they're all in shitty Nordic social democracies.
Yeah. Wait. But in America, leftists don't win is in the same reason why leftists did not win in Nazi Germany. Well, eventually they got. But she is. When you are not in power, I need a good analogy. This is why most civilizations get assimilated by the Borg unless you're like that special civilization that can resist the Borg. I don't know. David Goliath. Yes, if you don't have power and you rig the game, you're gonna lose. But you are an idiot for not understanding how the game is rigged. You mother.
Stage, we feel disempowered.
Because you are not disempowered. You've never been helpless. You've never had to decide whether or not you're going to sell your daughter for a sweatshop or whether you're going to sell your son into a coal mine. So it's not about feelings. It's about being disempowered because the structure is against you. You never have to survive. This guy was talking about how Obama droned his mother. He was like so scared because he was on the drone list. He was scared to visit every single relative, and he was like hiding out in the mountains because he did not want to put his family. He could not visit his family. Yes, that's it. Species 8427. That's what I was looking for. Yes. And he was just like all alone, and it's like psycho, and it's not about okay. And just look up My War is Business and how hellish it is for Iraqis to have no water and having hell and fire rain down upon them. So when you say feel, it means that you have never been disempowered to know that it is actually. No, don't insult Edward Bernstein. He was a little smarter than this. So yeah.
And so this moral fanaticism is a psychological substitute. Like with Marie Antoinette, it's easier to blame people than systems. Also,
she was the queen. She was the queen. She was the
system.
Yeah.
She was the system.
You are a boy. She was the queen, you idiot. So you should blame her because she had the power to change it.
She was not a powerless individual. Jesus Christ.
No, exactly. Anyone that's exactly right. About 2 weeks ago, I interviewed Nemanja Lukic, who got his house bombed and burnt down by the I don't even know. It is the heart of darkness, and no one in the exactly. And my guess is I know how you. I wish I don't know, but I understand. No, she does not know what an absolute monarchy is because she is a Pinochet.
Structural analysis is very boring, and
that's why she hasn't done any.
Destroying people with gossip is extremely entertaining.
You haven't done any structural analysis, and you're not even interesting. Gossip is at least interesting. This is less interesting than gossip.
Yeah, there's nothing about this woman worth gossiping
moral
about.
Policing also gets turned inward and becomes leftist guilt.
What? Who's moral? What the hell is
What do I have to feel guilty about?
This useless, internalized scolding. I think I'm done with my makeup. What do we think? Leave a comment. I'm always hesitant to do anything about skincare since last time I did skincare, I was critiqued by Hiram. So I am going to spray my face a couple times with this.
Well, we all know white people can't wash themselves.
Oh yeah, I like her product placement and how she's selling advertising.
Skin mist. If that's okay with Hiram. It feels good to finally address this feud. Clear the air.
Who's Hiram?
I look a lot better with makeup. I don't want to say that I don't have natural beauty. It's just that it's very much enhanced by painting a different face on top.
Well, there's definitely no inner beauty to be had.
This way, I've kind of earned it, because it's my skill. So there's a podcast called Guilty Feminist that's been running for years, and I haven't listened in a while. But in the early episodes, they'd bring on these women who would confess their feminist sins. Hi, my name is Amber. I'm a feminist.
White people. I hate white people.
But I enjoy being choked in bed.
That's your business, your sex life. Enjoy being choked in bed. If you like being choked in bed, go for it. That's not a sin.
It's hard being a woman. Not only are you being choked, you also feel guilty about it.
Well, that's because you're kink shaming her for wanting to be choked in bed as though it's bad. Shut up.
The same
Hey, can you hear
moral
me?
hand-wringing happens with body positivity. When you make loving your body into a moral imperative, not only are you still going to hate your body, but now you're also going to feel guilty about hating your body because it makes you a bad feminist. So there was one problem, and now there's two problems. Thanks, morality. That's very helpful. Now I want to take a moment to acknowledge that a lot of conservatives have made
That was just
some
a bunch of
version
random
the
fucking
argument
words.
I'm making in this video. For example, Jordan Peterson and Camille Paglia have argued that academic postmodernists are motivated by resentment. The argument is that deconstructionist literary theory is a kind of envious vengeance against the beauty and virtuosity of canonical great art. And yeah, there's probably some truth to that. A lot of academics are failed artists, but I was even more monkey than that.
masturbatory.
I've noticed that working class
Fart
non-academic
noise!
socialists do tend to be more productive and more self-advancing, involved in unionizing or organizing. Whereas,
I'll agree with like
it's
any
usually people who went
critique
to
of
college,
academic postmodernists I hear.
presumably because they had middle-class ambitions at some point, but whose middle-class ambitions have failed,
Yes.
who become the great critiquers of capital. I mean, I can tell you from experience that when I was eating Chef Boyardee over my master's degree, that's when I was most
She has a
likely to say
master's?
things like, according to Antonio Gramsci, in the logic of late-stage capitalism, the culturally hegemonic neoliberal ideology manufactures the consent of the subaltern. So point
No, you're not overeducated because Gramsci wrote for people who did not know how to read in Italy either, you moron. And the only video you should watch on Gramsci is Taimur Rahman. Let me see if I can find. Can somebody Google Taimur Taimur Rahman Rahman? He's the only video. Oh, by the way, the best, one reason why you should probably learn Hindi is because the best videos on Marxism are on in Hindi for high school kids in India. But so she does not know what Gramsci was doing. Like Taimur Rahman has I don't feel confident enough, but what Gramsci's what the Italian prosecutor said is that this mind is so brilliant, we need it to stop working for the next 20 years. Oh, by the way, Gramsci had an idea of doing like long distance Marxist education, and notice how the Italians managed to liberate themselves, turn their guns on the fascists, and victimize Mussolini, while the Germans did not, because Kautsky sucks. So she does not even, so she studied, this is embarrassing. She studied Gramsci, but does not understand Gramsci. Yes, it is Taimur. Yes, this is the one.
That's what I would expect from a Western academic, is to have studied Gramsci and have no idea what the fuck any of those words mean.
Yeah,
that's the point of Western academia, to make sure you learn, to make sure you hear the words, but don't know what they mean.
Like Chomsky. That's why you should listen to Taimur Rahman. He's the best video on Gramsci for people, because Gramsci is kind of, yes, Gramsci understood everything. And he also has this like thing where he talks about Americanism versus Fordism. It's just great. Yeah. Anyways, idiot.
Taken, but some conservatives take this argument way too far and try to argue that the entire left is nothing but a coalition of resentment.
There is no left in the imperial core, and yeah, you are a coalition of stupid masturbation and you are anti-literate because you are sitting in the imperial core and you're stupid and you don't know that you're stupid, and you guys are so racist that you can't imagine that there's a foreigner who 100 years ago kind of solved all your problems for you.
Like, there's a video on YouTube of the philosophy professor Stephen Hicks
Who cares?
doing a version of the postmodernism is resentment argument. And in the comments section, there's a bunch of people saying, this describes Black Lives Matter, Antifa, and the Democrats.
Who cares?
Does it, though? I mean, any political movement is gonna have people in it who suffer from resentment poisoning.
Who cares what people feel? This is not about feelings. Screw off. Your feelings are for your therapist. Who cares? It's not politics. It's not about your feelings. Go away.
But Black Lives Matter, at its core, is about the right not to be murdered by police. The slogan, Black Lives Matter, is an affirmation of the value of Black life. So that seems like something even Nietzsche would approve of.
No.
Huey Newton, the co-founder of the Black Panther Party, was inspired by Nietzsche to create the slogan, "All power to the people."
No, that was Lenin. That was Lenin. All power to the Soviets. You are a motherfucking idiot. Where did she get this from?
When we coined the expression all power to the people, we had in mind emphasizing the word power, for we recognize that the will to power is the basic drive of man. But it is incorrect to seek power over people. We have been subjugated to the dehumanizing power of exploitation and racism for hundreds of years, and the black community has its will to power also. What we seek, however, is not power over people, but the power of control of our own destiny.
That, to me, is a role model for how to do identity politics without centering resentment.
What is she talking about? Also, I know I'm going to be kind of mean, but don't listen to losers, listen to winners. And I love Huey Newton, but we don't have like America has not been balkanized into having its own black nation. So I'm just saying, don't listen to, okay, I know this is extra trolly, but listen to Kwame Nakamura. He has a way better and more coherent. Well, I mean, it's not Huey Newton's fault. He was like censored all sorts of things. But yeah, definitely listen to. I cannot pronounce this person's name, but I love him. I read everything. The thing is that like when I read stuff without hearing, I mispronounce it in my head, and I'll never figure out how to properly pronounce it in my head. So yeah, but she's.
It's instead an affirmation
of
self-determination.
I like communists to win,
and
not
self-respect. Like Nietzsche would say, it's saying yes to yourself. Whereas if your whole political project is defined in the negative, then you're allowing yourself to be defined by your enemies. I find feminism is prone to this, where even, and in fact especially the most radical feminists, cannot seem to escape this resentful consciousness of being the second sex and defining themselves against men. Earlier I mentioned Andrea Dworkin in a positive way. She's the most radical of radical feminists, and my first impulse is actually to defend.
No, the most radical of radical feminists is Nadezhda Krupskaya or Lyudmila Pavlichenko. Anyways, you idiot. Yeah, like I said, don't listen to losers.
Defend her because she's very widely hated, and most of the people who hate her hate a caricature. Like in that Stephen Hicks video, Hicks summarizes Dworkin as
calling all heterosexual males rapists.
Literally in the preface to her most famous book, Dworkin says,
if one's sexual experience has always and without exception been based on dominance, how could one understand that this book does not say that all men are rapists or that all intercourse is rape?
Listen, Hicks, I get that you're a full professor and I'm just a makeup vlogger.
Yeah, you're just a makeup vlogger who does not know what anything means, but go ahead.
My gut feeling on this one is, before criticizing a book, maybe read the book.
Oh my God, can somebody clip this and tell her to do that with Karl Marx and Mao and Lenin and everything? Like, seriously, like clip this, please clip this and tell her to do this. I don't know how somebody has to clip this for me. You will forget, but this is exactly what she needs to do. Also, if you want, I can I'll quickly explain. Okay, so you idiot, before criticizing utopianism, read Engels on socialist utopia and scientific socialism. So give this advice to yourself. Okay, I hope that was good enough for you to clip this and send it to her.
Just a thought. Get it together, prof. You're being owned online by a makeup vlogger. I mean, there's no shame in that. It happens to me all the time. That being said, I do think that Hicks is coincidentally correct that Dworkin is a theorist of resentment. What Dworkin does say in this book is arguably even more bleak than what is falsely attributed to her. The book is called Intercourse. She wrote a book called Intercourse. Imagine writing a book called Intercourse. I can actually easily imagine that, never mind. So this is an argument about the meaning of sex. Penetration, to be specific. Dworkin argues that penetration expresses domination, invasion, occupation, possession, contempt, degradation. So it's against the Freudian male castration anxiety
this is like inane nonsense.
Where it's, a fear of being devoured by the woman. Imagine being afraid of that. Imagine being afraid of that. I'm gonna get a facelift someday, and I'm gonna look like this.
Who cares?
I'm perfect. I certainly don't agree with everything she says, but isn't Dworkin closer to the truth here? Closer than Freud, anyway.
And isn't Lenin closer to the truth than any you stupid motherfuckers? Like, seriously.
Think about what men typically say to women during the act.
Who cares?
Do they say, help, I'm being devoured? Never heard that one. Have you? No, usually it's more along the lines of...
this is so adorable.
You little...
etc. And of course, you can eroticize being subjugated and degraded and enjoy it. And I think Dworkin would argue that most women do eroticize subjugation because they're taught to. But enjoying it, she'd have to say, doesn't change the meaning of what's happening. So
why is she kink shaming?
I think Dworkin says some things that are very true and some things that are off the fucking rails. Where she loses me is...
Everything you say is off the bleeping rails.
Where she starts getting black-pilled. And this book... This is the feminist black pill. It is 250 pages of hopeless misery and rage. She says,
male-dominant gender hierarchy seems immune to reform. This may be because intercourse itself is immune to reform.
What is this nonsense? I don't care.
So women will never be free until men stop putting the P in the V. We can dream, Andrea. We can dream. Like most ideology of resentment, this book is totally dismissive of any plausible reforms that might actually improve the situation of women. Instead, preferring to wallow in the endless violence, filth, and abjection of it all. I also think it's symptomatic that Dworkin identifies as a lesbian, but in that second wave political way. Quoting from the foreword, to Dworkin, it was a badge of rebellion against the patriarchy.
How much more of this nonsense do we have to listen to?
30 plus years of...
Wait, are we done with the anti-communist stuff? Because I can't handle much more of, is there any more anti-communist stuff? Or can we end the stream? Because this is getting on my nerves.
Knowing her, I've never heard of a single romance with a woman, not one. This is not surprising to me from the author of a 250-page book about sex that not once pauses to even imagine the possibility of intimacy between women. Because it's not a lesbianism that's about saying yes to women. It's a lesbianism that's about saying no to men. People think that lesbians are the biggest man-haters, but I don't think that's true. I think lesbians
masturbation,
just
I don't know,
think about men that much. The only men I think about are Fred Nietzsche and Oedipus the King. It's straight women who are
the one
usually
man
the real
she's not thinking about is Lenin, so she's wrong.
Because they're stuck with this, and love is closer to hatred than neutrality. So what does Andrea Dworkin actually want?
Who cares?
What would she say yes to if she said yes to anything?
Who
Sometimes
cares?
Women have trouble saying what they want.
Who cares?
No one ever told them they could. Romance.
Who cares?
That's what Joan Didion said is the real desire of the women's movement. Joan Didion, of course, being not like other girls.
Who cares?
Offers occasional glimpses of a positive desire.
Despite all efforts to socialize
women, who cares
women
about this? Is like innate.
Women still want to
Can somebody tell me if I can end this because it's
diffuse
stupid
and
and boring and I hate this.
That involves the whole body in a
Can you hear
polymorphous
me?
tenderness.
That does
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly. We've always been able to hear you perfectly.
I think it's a bit bold to speak for all women, though. There are definitely women out there who, they don't make love. Anastasia, they hard. I'm really sleepy, and this bed right behind me just looks so nice.
No, everybody loves Lenin.
What if I just go to sleep? And then wake up, and then just record the rest of the video when I wake up. I don't want to do it now.
Please don't do it anymore. Please don't do any more videos.
Isn't it better for me to have a friend? Pikachu is the most adorable.
I don't know. Can somebody tell me? Because I don't want to watch this anymore.
Name one thing more yellow than Pikachu. You can't name anything. You can't think of anything. So if diffuse and tender sensuality is what you want, then just say that. Is that what you want, Pikachu? I bet it is. And Dworkin did get married to a gay man. So I guess she found what she wanted.
This is torture.
Lucky. Envying Andrea Dworkin. Is that really what we've sunk to around here? I've been noticing the poison creeping into my mind lately. I know this isn't very original, but I had a bad year. I fell in love with my best friend like a
Who
gay
cares?
idiot. Got my heart
I don't
comprehensively
care.
broken. And then COVID hit and gave me a year of solitude.
I don't care about
spiral
you.
Deeper into a hell of my own making.
I
I
don't
stopped
care.
saying yes to life. And I
I don't know how
started
to do it
saying yes
faster.
to chasing the dragon, by which I mean playing Spyro the Dragon, one of the greatest
Who
appropriate
cares?
for all
I don't
ages
care what
video
you're
games
doing.
of
You're
all
inane
time.
things. If we
Look
don't
at
care,
him
go away.
Go! I'm taking the hair clips out. I catch myself having bitter spinster thoughts.
Why are we still watching?
I don't know if there's more
anti-communist
anti-communist stuff.
That's why I'll die alone. Yeah, that's the reason I'm alone. Definitely not because I don't leave the house. See, I am not immune to incel tier brain poisoning. And you really can use political theorizing as an excuse not to fix your life. Society did this to me.
Go away.
Transphobic society
I don't
made me
care
hate
about
myself.
this stupidity.
Well, yeah, that's true. But at a certain point,
This is Jordan
you have
Peterson
to
nonsense.
take responsibility for your own mind and decide to stop being an accomplice in your own annihilation.
I don't know
As
how
we
to
did
speed
Reference in
it up,
Paradise
please.
Lost, the mind is its own place, and in
Shift
itself
plus
can make a
what?
heaven of hell a hell of heaven.
Oh god, I'm gonna get the
Squad.
wrong
So I
keyboard.
ask myself, what kind of mind do I want to be? Do I want to obsess
It's not speeding
over
up.
what
Oh, no,
I
no, it's not
lack,
the shift button.
concede society's judgment of
Nope,
my
it's not
inferiority,
speeding up.
become a self-hating, self-pitying, envious, resentful little nothing?
Shift.
Or do I want to get off the
Not speeding up.
goddamn floor, stop chasing the dragon, and say yes to life? The answer, of course, is that I long to return to the sweet womb of my dark mother.
It's not
but we're
speeding
not
up.
going to do that because there's plenty
Elkie?
of time to
I
numb the
don't know.
pain after you die. The sweet embrace of death is the darkest mother of all. Also, nothing is less attractive than an envious, resentful, self-pitying person.
I'm probably gonna mess it up, so I'll just leave it be.
Flaw. It's a personality deformity that can ruin whatever chance at happiness you have.
You sound like Jordan.
So
Who
in the
cares?
short time that you're alive, you have to discover that which is noble in yourself.
There is
and
nothing
say
noble
yes
in
to
it. We don't care
You know,
about
don't
you.
Say no
We don't
to
care
getting
about you.
older. Say yes to being a MILF. Yes, yes. What I'm really trying to say here is SpongeBob SquarePants is the Ubermensch. SpongeBob says yes to life, and so should we. Yes to
What's a
ourselves.
left turn?
Yes to art. Yes to sensuality. Yes to the world.
Is this like some stupid commercial?
Yes. Oui. Is this really how we're ending the video?
Yeah. Thank God.
I guess.
Please end the video.
Okay, bye.
This is torture. Okay, thank God. Oh my God. How do people watch this crap?
Do we have to keep doing this?
No, we're done. We're done. Thank God. Okay. Thank God. How do people watch this crap? Let's see. Do we have any questions? Comments? Let's see. Okay. So I'm just gonna see quickly. Do we have any questions? Comments? Okay. How about this? I will stay on as long as people keep super chat donating. If you want me to rant. Okay. I can't. I'm not finding the niche to rant. I'm sorry. I don't know anything about niche to rant. Counter rant. Yeah, like I literally don't know anything about niche to counter rant. So I don't have Dunning-Kruger, so I don't do it. Okay, I will. Okay, never mind. I won't do this. Okay, just ask a few questions. I'll answer some questions if you have a question that does not involve.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, thank you so much. This was torture.
Listen to this any longer.
Yeah, no, we're done. Okay, they want you to rant. Matt, can you rant something? No, okay, I was just making it. Don't do it. Just like give me a question, I will answer it. Ask a question. Don't say you're broke. Ask a question, and I will answer it. That's all.
Like what?
No. The video's ending.
Yeah, I'll do.
The video's all ended. Thank you, Kane, for the super sticker. Okay, so if you guys have no more questions, be sure to like, subscribe. Also, go to historically.substack.com/subscribe so that I can do more rants whenever people say really stupid ass things. And don't be anti-literate. Learn how to
follow me on Twitter.
Yeah, he'll be on Twitter. Don't be anti-literate. Learn how to read. Don't be anti-literate. And no, and we don't debate. Debates are stupid. We don't debate. No. And so words have meanings. Even if the bourgeoisie try to obscure meaning, you need to have the meaning. So you need to, if you don't understand the meaning, look it up in a dictionary. Don't argue about things that we've already settled 100 years ago. And today somebody tried to get into an argument about what the word goloda meant in Russian, and it means hunger, famine, starvation. But you can look it up on Google Translation, so you don't have to do that. So God, okay. That's the end. We'll be doing Soviet summers on Wednesday, and then late night with Lenin. And with that, I will say Auf Wiedersehen. And I really do need to think of a better sign off.